It is odd, Roland, that it's the same deal.
Of course.
And I guess people are just viewing it through their partisan prism. But Charles Krauthammer, you'd think the Republican leadership's for it. You'd think by reflex he would be for it. And he says we got snookered.
I think that you have Charles writing a column where he is focusing on the politics of the deal. But you have Congressman Scott who's focusing on the reality of what's going to happen when it's time to pay for it. And in fact, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He made clear that we should extend the cuts for anybody because it will add to the deficit, the numbers you simply read. And so his whole point is what happens. Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. has a column out today where he talked about will this be Reaganomics and Obamonomics by saying what's going to happen when Republicans come back in January. What are they likely going to cut? Social programming.
It is stunning, though, John Avlon, to hear all these liberal critics of this deal suddenly talking about, hey, we got to stop raising the deficit. Where have they been?
I love it. I love it. Listen, every time Democrats are talking about fiscal responsibility, I think it's a good day in Washington. What I love is what's creeping in the conservative criticism of this deal is also something we haven't seen in a long time, which is conservatives acknowledging that tax cuts don't always pay for themselves, that they have to be offset. Look, 10 days ago, we were all talking about the deficit and the debt. We were all focused on that. This deal throws that out the window in the name of bipartisan compromise and short-term economic stimulus. Let's see if those folks can keep their focus on the deficit, the debt down the line. That's when it'll really matter.
And Eric, when we come back to town next week, Bill Clinton tried to settle this argument today, but the left doesn't like it, the right doesn't like it. By the end of next week, will we have a deal?
I think we're going to have some changes to the deal before we actually get it done. I don't see them being able to vote on it. The House Republicans, I think, probably will go along, and some of the Senate Republicans, but I'm hearing more and more that there are more and more qualms. It did not help for Rush Limbaugh to go all week kind of sitting on the fence and come out aggressively against it today. The Heritage Foundation is now fully against it when all week the Senate Republicans have been saying the Heritage Foundation supported it. That's not going to help them when they come Monday and Tuesday.
Is there an argument to be made if both ends of the spectrum don't like it, that maybe it actually is okay?
That's what everybody in Washington tells themselves. That's always what people in Washington tell themselves.
That's the Washington
way,
way,
actually
right?
the case. Yeah,
absolutely. That is the way. And again, you're likely going to see liberals probably likely falling in line because at the end of the day, can you get a better deal at this stage? I doubt it.
A weekend of arm twisting.
Weekend of arm twisting.